Hey guys, welcome back. So jumping straight into the tutorial, I'm starting out by neutralizing the discoloration on my eyelids. I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX11. This is just a sample pot that I'm using. And I'm setting that with a pinkish brown matte eyeshadow from the I Love Makeup palette by Makeup Revolution. It's basically the corner eyeshadow on the left hand side, or the edge eyeshadow on the left hand side. And then I'm using the same eyeshadow as my first transition shade in the crease. And I'm applying this in the crease and slightly above. The brush I'm using is from BH Cosmetics. It's actually a really good brush. Then I'm taking the next shade, the medium tone brown, and applying that once again into the crease. Slightly more tighter than the previous shade and blending it higher up. And then I'm using the same shade on my lower lash line, all the way from outer to inner corner. And then for depth on the outer corners and the inner corners of my eyes, I'm using a Colourpop matte eyeshadow in the shade Farah. I'm using a brush to apply this. Now the thing with Colourpop eyeshadows, they definitely apply better using your fingers, but I can't do that with this eyeshadow in particular purely because I'm using it to add definition on the outer and inner corners where I need a bit more precision. So I'm going in with a synthetic brush by Eyeshadows. And then for the main eyelid colour, I'm using Game Face, and this is a beautiful orangey gold shade. It's so stunning. I went in with the other end of the Eyeshadows brush, which is it's still a synthetic flat shader brush, and I'm just applying this onto the center part of my lid and blending it out. And then I actually went in with my fingers because definitely get a higher intensity payoff from the eyeshadow. Going back in with the first brush that I used to apply that chocolate brown, I haven't added any more colour, I'm just blending out the edges. And then taking a bit more of the chocolate brown, I'm adding that onto my lash line. And then to increase the depth on the outer corners, I'm mixing up two shades from the palette, the darkest brown and the aubergine shade. And using a blending brush, I'm applying that onto the outer corners and onto the inner corners as well. I'm trying to just use this one palette and the Colourpop eyeshadows, otherwise I would have just gone in with a black, but I did like the way this turned out. I'm just going in with a smaller angled blending brush, just for a little bit more precision on the inner corners. And then I went back in with Game Face because I felt like I lost a little bit of the intensity of the eyeshadow, but I'm applying this mainly onto the lower part of the center part of my eye, if that makes sense. And then I'm using the same eyeshadow on the lower lash line, but this is very close to the inner rim of the eye. And then I'm going to tightline and line the lower waterline using this Precision Eye Pencil by KIKO. It's in black. It's not the best black pencil that I've used. It's okay. It's a new one that I was trying out, but it's not as intense as I'd like it. Like, I think the Rimmel Scandalized pencil is probably a little bit more intense and actually softer to use around the eye. But it did an okay job. And I'm using this pencil to line my upper lash line as well, but I'm making sure to go all the way in. And then using that angle brush that I used earlier, I'm just smudging out the black pencil. I haven't got any more product on that brush. And I'm doing the same thing on the upper lash line. I'm just trying to soften the black. Now, had I got more lid space, I would have probably put some form of a black liner, either gel or liquid. But because I don't have a lot of lid space, my eyes are so hooded, I just use the pencil. Then for lashes, I'm trying out these Primark falsies. They're only £1. They come with its own lash adhesive. I applied that off camera. The adhesive is not that great. Prefer the duo adhesive, but the lashes were actually really comfortable. And then all I'm doing here is just intensifying the lower lash line. So I've gone in with that darkest brown shade, and I'm applying that with a more dense angled brush just so I get a lot more color payoff onto the lower lash line. You can see how smoked out that looks now. And then I'm just going with a slightly fluffier brush just to blend that out. Now, after adding the falsies, I found that the outer corners weren't intense enough, wasn't enough depth in them, so I've gone in with the pencil, and I'm just marking out a little bit onto the outer corners, just to add a little bit more definition. And then I'm just going to blend that out using that same angle brush that I just used to apply eyeshadow on my lower lash line. And I'm just blending out that black pencil. And repeating the same thing on the other side. This pencil, again, it wasn't creamy enough to add a lot of pigment onto the outer corners, but it was enough just to add that extra bit of depth that I was looking for. And then using a lip brush, I'm applying the shimmer shade in the palette itself, shimmer highlight, onto my inner corners, and I'm going to use the same highlight under my brow bone. I've forgotten how much I absolutely love this palette. It's so good. This palette is so good. And then this is another new palette that I recently purchased. This is from KIKO. And I'm actually using the eyeshadow as blush. I'm using that orangey shade as blush. I wanted something a little bit more orange just to tie in with the eyeshadow. So I've gone in with this. You've got to be careful using eyeshadow as blush, only because it can apply a bit patchy, as it did right now on me. So I'm just going in with a brush that I used earlier to apply some powder on my face, just to blend out that blush or that eyeshadow on the cheeks. This brush that I'm using is from 17. Again, it's something that I purchased recently, and it's such a good brush, and it was very affordable. I think it was like £3 or £4. Then for lips, I'm going in with Makeup Geek Plush Matte lipstick. This is in the shade Cougar. And I thought with this the look was complete, but actually I completely forgot to apply highlighter onto my cheeks. So I'm going in with Wisp by Colourpop, and I'm using the same blush brush because I didn't want anything too intense. And I'm just going to apply that onto the high point of my cheeks. So just on my cheekbones, a little bit on the bridge of my nose and Cupid's bow. I go in with my fingers just to blend it out a little bit better. But this highlighter is so beautiful. So with this, the look is complete. I really hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.